early agi you get from your Phantom Rush. You've got the nuke as well. PL does seem like one of the better heroes against Enchantress.
Yeah, we can take care of that Alchemist right away, too. The Earthshaker's already gone, so a couple of heroes that PL does not enjoy playing up against too much.
Maybe even ban the Kunkka, too. That's a hero that matches up well against most of Thompson's mids.
I am so down with that. I actually thought that the first phase Kunkka by Trent could have been a sick call. I'm so down with banning Kunkka. Also, you think about banning Phoenix after that last game, honestly. And they're so, LGD correctly now focusing on that Thompson hero pool. Would not be surprised to see the Evoker taken out.
Yeah, I mean, they focused on several. Arc Warden has come out a couple times. The Pugna, the Monkey King, of course, last game being banned out. Will OG take out the Kunkka here?
It's also still the Ursa play, too. Someone who's looked very good versus the PL. There are some questions in terms of like being kited. It depends on the IO pairing, too.
And Seb has played the Ursa at that offlane position, so that's definitely an option for OG. That's a hero that I think could have a lot of impact in this game.
OG taking some of their time, trying to figure out how this next phase is going to play out.
It's tough. They wish they had like 3 or 4 bans here. They'll ban the Storm, you know, it's like there's still Kunkka, there's still Phoenix.
There's still Clinks, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of scary heroes.
Too many.
But after that initial display from LGD, where they showed they're willing to first to pick a Storm, it's probably worth banning against them.
Yeah. No, it's just it's a theory that holds in a lot of other sports. You try to never get beat the same way twice.
So LGD have a relatively easy second phase here. Basically, just going to reveal both of their supports and then look for that 10th pick for maybe in the end, hence why OG using so many of their bans for it. All of the top tier supports still left in besides the Silencer. We still have the Bane if they want that versus the IO +1. We still have the Vengeful Spirit as well.
That's kind of a nice position to be in, where you're just picking supports here because you have the last pick of the draft. You don't want to get into this second.
PSG LGD once again continue to focus on the Thompson bans with that Pugna coming out. Now their turn to pick their next hero. Yeah, that would be one of those cheekier strats that I alluded to before. This idea, like they use this early sustain of the Pugna, healing up the IO, who's then tethering the Pugna. That's like instant health and mana, and then they use that to sustain pushes early on in the game. Very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah. Expect to see a support here. The Venge is still in the pool, of course, which we did see by X-Nova.
Yeah, Venge, another one of those heroes that we talked about, right, where so much prominence earlier on in the International, and then hasn't had as much priority, but definitely a good showing in that last game.
Oh! Yes. Okay, not the most common hero versus PL, obviously, is there's some disadvantages there because you can just doppelganger up over the ice shards.
No, but it's the same. It's not quite the same theory, but it's similar to the Earthshaker idea that you have a hero now that can long range initiate, that can get you in the back of that fight, threaten the Wisp from the get-go.
I'd say also it's the LGD philosophy. Let's have a good laning stage. We're going to put this Tusk with Enchantress, very scary dual lane, a lot of kill potential with the Ice Shards block, with the Enchantress right-click. Probably see that like Blightstone build on her, and Snowball then as well as a way to stop TPs and gap close.
So how do you guys feel about this Chen pick? Because it does give you a support duo that's extremely low on disable.
Yeah, I think it's good.
That's been a big problem.
It secures your safe lane though. Like that, you got to give this PL a better lane. I think Chen has shown that he's one of the best supports to secure the safe lane. He's not this game influencing hero he used to be that like pushes all your towers and wins you the game like at 20 minutes by just pushing everything, but he does give you a better early game.
Yeah, but it feels to me right now that the last 2 picks from OG need to answer this team fight potential on the LGD side. They need to have some transition out of the laning phase.
I think that's where we may see something like the Centaur come back for Seb, something that's going to give them an initiation, a stun that you mentioned. You definitely need that against Morphling. You need to be able to jump on him and stop him from Morphling Strength, or how are you ever going to kill him? Right now, these 3 heroes do not ever pose a threat to kill a Morphling.
Is that what you really want, is your leading stun, though? Centaur?
Yeah.
Like,
so the animation is just terrible.
I mean, maybe if they
even
lose the waveform key on the keyboard or something, you may not be able to escape, but, like, my God, not the best initiator.
Oh, you're on today, Trey.
Well, PSG LGD, what are they looking for here? Another support?
I also feel the 8th pick is more likely going to be a mid for OG because they're going into the double pick, so you may as well pick Thompson's heroes first.
The thing you don't want banned.
Yeah.
I like how you can go like a greedier ranged hero when you have a Tusk, because Tusk doesn't necessarily need too much, but okay, they really want that Brewmaster. All right. So that means it's probably support Ench then?
Again, we just talked about the same thing previous game. It's the potential for outplay from the 3 and the 4 position is now so there for LGD, right?
They really want that room.
I mean, what are you going to do as a Chen or an IO to counter the kind of team fight?
This is a great pick because it deals with the Phantom Lancer while also still having that strong lane. This is also why Enchantress is such a great onion pick, because it can be pushed onto the 5 position role. That's something OG themselves have done, and something X-Nova is very comfortable playing as well as a 5.
If you just look to hunt down this IO every fight too, right? Just toss him up the cyclone. Suddenly, this major key of your draft from OG, your first overall pick, can just feel completely worthless.
And not just the IO, but a lot of the tanky frontliners like the Centaur that we thought about are vulnerable to the exact same thing, getting tossed up.
All right, it's game time.
Oh yeah, all right.
Coming back.
Look, you got to the final of TI with this hero.
This is some Seb Nix or something that they want here, I feel like.
Please ban Kunkka, though.
Oh, God,
yes. Their lesson in ban Kunkka. Don't
Can't
give
watch
maybe
that
another
again.
chance. Yeah. But I love it. You know, Thompson, put him on one of his signature heroes, put him on one of his best heroes in your elimination game. This is the way to go out. Or take a game 5, ideally.
Right. I mean, this is their shot, right? So give him what he's comfortable with. Had a rough game, but it's great to see that they have the confidence, despite that earlier game, to come back.
There's the Centaur.
Wow.
They will remove it, though.
Do you go back? Do you go back to the Underlord here for Seb?
No, I don't like that hero at all.
They need a stun.
Yeah.
I mean, the hero feels really bad.
Slow.
You need like a tanky frontliner, right?
Kind of, you need a way to start a fight too. Invoker kind of gives you that with the way he plays the Quaswex Invoker with the Spirit Vessel.
Enigma is okay.
Ooh.
I mean, maybe not the biggest set hero of all time, but there's no BKB cancel just yet. It allows you to push very early if you get a lead. It can actually bully in the lane some.
But if you pick Enigma and you don't win that lane hard, like what does Enigma do in this game without a BKB?
I mean, what does any hero do in this game? Like, they have
excellent question on the panel. OG.
I mean, Enigma is kind of the all-in push pick though too.
I don't know. I feel like you need some hero who can fight with this Quaswex Invoker, right? Because we're assuming, like, typical Invokers, what you go ahead and do is, all right, an Axe. That's good. That's a good stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay. So here's the problem. They don't play this X-Sword Invoker, right? You play this X-Sword Invoker, you pick a Nyx Assassin, or you pick a Centaur War Runner, you go across the map, you blink, you stun, you Sunstrike, wow, gold. But Quaswex Invoker, he needs someone who can actually go out and fight with him in this early, mid-game. And so the Axe will be the answer here for Seb. Definitely like it. Good pairing with the IO and available for some cheeky creep.
But it's,
I keep saying cheeky, but you know, the creep cutting is very good.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering with this last pick. Like, you need an IO partner. You want to have good, strong lanes, and it also gives you a Morphling solution. If he's playing on too much agi, you get that blink hole with Blade Mail, you can blow him up.
You can, but I tell you what, it has the same problem as the Centaur, that the animation on that Berserker's call is pretty long.
Well, OG have made their call here in the draft. We're just waiting for PSG LGD to answer the call with the very last pick here for Game 4.
This could be your match point hero.
Yeah.
Oh, it's baby.
It's wow.
Okay. Well, the Bloodseeker makes a return. We have all 10 heroes lined up. I mean, we talked so much about what OG can do. They're showing us some ideas here that they're going back to the roots. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Thompson needs to have the game of his life.
All right, Thompson needs the game of his life. Well, this is the moment to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for Game 4. We'll have a chance to hear from Casey and the coach of PSG LGD.
357 and Helen, once again, thank you so much. Now, how do you feel about OG's draft?
他们的阵容前面输出有点低吧，然后节奏很依赖卡尔，然后觉得比较一般。
Well, for their draft, they lack damage in the early game, and they depend on the Invoker for their tempo controlling. I think it's pretty average.
And how do you feel about your draft?
你的阵容呢？
我觉得我这个阵容如果线上能处理好点，应该没什么问题。
If we have good lanes, we're good.
Good luck. Best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to hear some insight as we get ready for Game 4. PSG LGD playing to lift up the Aegis after one more win as OG tries to make a comeback run. We'll return to our casters, Odie, Merlini, and Fog.
Thank you very much, Chobi. Yes, Game 4 now between PSG LGD and OG as PSG LGD lead the charge in this best of 5, 2-1. Can they do it here? Is this the TI winning game, boys? We're seeing again OG trying trying something a little different. There's the Axe, another hero that people just aren't playing, but they're bringing it out here on their potential knockout game of the TIA Grand Final.
Such confidence, right? Like, they just lost with Chen, they just lost with PL, and they just lost with Invoker. They're like, it doesn't matter, we're going to stick with our comfort, try to just play our own game. And I like that they're at least sticking to their guns.
And LGD's coach seems super confident. It's just like, yeah, no problem. I'm very happy with the draft.
So what some of the panel talks about this offlane now, this Axe that gets picked up, they were looking for a hero that sort of offers some sort of a disable. Do you think this was sort of the best option? Were there sort of other things that you're a little surprised that OG didn't prioritize over going for the Axe?
I don't know if I can think anything just straight off the top of my head. Just can't remember all the bans and everything, but it's a hero that we just don't see. It's a hero we just don't see often for a good reason.
I think Brew will destroy him in the team fight. You can cycle him, he's useless.
Yeah.
He won't be able to get back in position. He can even cycle him during the blade mill call if he's prepared. And yeah, he's going to do very well in lane, I would say. And he is a decent player with the Wisp, but he struggles a lot in the mid game.
Yeah, and even versus the Tusk too, right? In a lot of situations, if the Tusk is in a good spot, you can get the snowball saves over and over again. So yeah, we'll see how it can work out for him. But I do feel like the lane, this Axe, of course, can put on a good amount of pressure.
We'll see how well Chance is able to deal with it down there on the bottom. What sort of lanes we do see from PSG, if they want to send down the support down there, they're going to just sack that bottom lane and leave Chalice alone.
Some friendly tipping on, some nice exchange coming out there. As we do see, of course, Enchantress also. X-Nova playing the support Enchantress. Not something we see so often, but we have seen it relegated to that role, especially from OG.
How many chickens have died in this spot?
Looks like X-Nova's not going to be patient enough. The courier's starting to move up, but he's headed away from that mid lane as he'll look towards the top, as it seems, to join forces with FY and Arme, making sure that the Morphling can find the farm against Silas PL in the safe lane. At the same time, TP up from Jarrett. Join in, tethers across to Ana. And this mid lane, this will certainly be the one to watch. We saw Topson Invoker already once here in this grand finals, and it did not have a good time. But top lane, the shards from FY out, trapping up Jarex and Notel, but Jarex has got the regen. Penitence from Notel onto FY will force back the Tusk. But this mid lane matchup, should this go better for Topson than it did when he played against Somnus' Gunka?
Yeah, there's no way for him to kill the Fort Spirit super easily, so he can actually use it this time. And I mean, he shouldn't get destroyed like last time.
It's really got to be dependent on the side lanes, right? Like, if those side lanes start dropping low as soon as this Bloodseeker hits level 3, that's when you can start getting ran down very easily as an Invoker. Even with you have your Fort Spirits and everything up, it's very difficult because that movement speed that you have. You have 282, and this Bloodseeker is going to be moving, for the most part, above 320 in this laning phase. So I am a bit concerned for Topson, but he has to be able to work really well around this Fort Spirit.
Already these early levels, Somnus playing the lane perfectly in with Depression. 8 for 3 against their 3 for 1 on these early levels. In that mid 1v1 matchup.
They've got Jarex low already. X-Nova though.
Jarex stop baiting him in. X-Nova's got the Fairy Fire. Jarex, you will fall, but not before you get the kill on X-Nova himself. FY also potentially trouble. Ana comes across. FY does still have a snowball. Potentially unlikely to save him as Ana. Surely wants to still chase him indeed. Rushes forward. There's Jarex with the tether. He's got the snowball to dodge the Spirit Lance at least, but FY very low. Actually gets taken down there. All right, the blast from Notel, Satire, Tormentor. So OG getting themselves a second kill up top.
When all those creeps out of the tower with no one farming, they actually got a wave on the side of OG going into LGD's tower. So yeah, they lost the tower. I think it actually worked out quite well for them.
And we're seeing what pretty much is expected as well down on the bottom lane at the moment. Seb having that favourable matchup. 21 for 0 against the 10 for 1.
He's just creep cutting and pulling it into the jungle, so he's actually farming just a bit more than that Brewmaster. I like that Jarex instantly reacted and just went top. And let's see what they can do with this. They've got a triple wave coming under here too, so Ame might struggle a bit to get these last hits if OG plays aggressive, which they are immediately.
FY off the shards out. Ana looking to get himself straight on top of Arme. Jarex is there with the tether onto Ana. Notel in trouble as the 3 of PSG LGD focus down the Chen and take the kill. Now with the snowball, they head over to Jarex as Ana. Jarex, they're potentially in trouble. The fair fire from Jarex, healing Ana up a little bit. Jarex trying to look for the body blocks. The nuke damage from Arme, not enough to kill off the PL as Jarex with the tether gets himself out as well. But mid indeed, Somnus diving in Topson. He's got the cold snap. The tower heading into Somnus as well, but Somnus gets the final touch, gets the kill. He has got a Fairy Fire and stick charges as well if needed, and he doesn't even need to. The Tango regen enough as Somnus gets the solo kill. Whoa! Woo! He's got his sunglasses on today.
Just too much pressure coming out up top right now. It's really hurting Topson's lane. This Bloodseeker's almost level 5 to a level 3 Invoker.
Yeah, Thompson just really struggling with the CS too. Yeah. Quelling Blade, the Blood Rage is not enough. I mean, he does like the Pause Flex, but he's really struggling with early phases in the game.
It's just he's sitting at like 100 damage or more on the Bloodseeker, not even including the Quelling Blade. So Thompson walks up, actually gets caught by the Blood Rain.
Does. He walks into the Blood Rain. Now Somnus is just looking to chase him down as, oh no! Thompson making a huge mistake in that middle lane. Top lane, No Tail will go down. As Anna looking to fight back, trying to chase down FY. They get the Satar Tormentor blast, the Spirit Lance as well as FY will fall. OG get a trade up top. But that middle lane indeed at Thompson, it looked like he felt that he could move up the ramp out of the Blood Rain in time. But it kicks in, and Somnus in that middle lane, keeping that edge once again against the Thompson Invoker, but this time on the Bloodseeker instead of that Kunkka from early.
I feel like I've seen this a few times where the Invokers just struggle a lot versus Bloodseeker because he has very little moves, but he has 0 points in Wex, and he has no boots. He's actually looked like he might be going for an Aquila early, so.
And that's with the Bloodseeker not even having boots yet. The Bloodseeker just has 50 movement speed over you at all times. I don't know if Thompson can play in this lane. They're just going to go kill him once more instantly as soon as he shows back up. And right away, he doesn't have TP.
Yeah, FY is in for the side. He's got a double damage ring as well. FY is there in underneath the tower, punching down Thompson. Thompson falls once again. Jarex comes in with the tether across. They try to find something to response, but Jarex, he's in trouble. He will live. They get the kill. FY, he'll go down as well. So OG able to strike back in that middle lane with the rotation, getting the double kill for No Tail, but Nova walks in against the easiest kill of his life there onto Jarex. They will find a trade Chalice as well, looking for this wraparound. He's got level 6, does have Primal Split available. CP back in from Thompson with the Primal Split ready to go. He looks towards Thompson underneath the tower. Thompson, he needs help, but he needs it now. Has he got any way of playing his way out of this one? He's only got points in Quest Exhaust, so no escape for Thompson. As the walk-around gang from Chalice with that Primal Split successful. It's even more than successful. It's brilliant. Double kill for Chalice. As he just walks over to mid as soon as he hits 6 and gets that playoff.
What a great off-lane player that is. If you try and contest the axe, you're going to get destroyed. So he gets level 6 when the Invoker is level 4, and it's just grueling at this point.
They're taking the tower already too, so they're gonna have access into the enemy jungle. They're gonna have access into OG's jungle, where Thompson is gonna have to go to the jungle to try to catch back up here.
He's level 4.
Oh man,
a lot of weight is going to be on Seb. He's had this bottom lane, he's got good levels, and he's got decent farm too. He's top of the net worth this game, very close to having the Blink Dagger on top of the Ring of Health. The TPs are heading down. Somnus seeing if he can find the Rupture. Seb, oh, he goes to farm. That's going to give time for Somnus to close the gap, get the Rupture. He's still pretty beefy, but is he beefy enough? I don't think so. The shards are out, trapping him in. The spin, though, the taunt, the Sunstrike. Seb, he gets the dunk off. The snowball save wasn't in time. And Jarex, he's in with the tether. OG, they're turning this one around. They look to run down FY. FY to the snowball. The shards already used. There's no way to escape, or maybe the Jukes. Is it enough? Oh, it is. Seb, he gets fogged. He can't get the dunk off. FY will survive.
Well, that's his Blink Dagger right there.
But a very neat little play there from Seb, being able to hold his ground. The Sunstrike, the dunk just before FY could get that snowball save off. It almost looked like the Bloodseeker was brought into the snowball, but at the same time getting that dunk off Seb.
He's actually decided to go for the Vanguard instead.
Oh,
just wanted
despite having the money.
Yeah, just wanted to tank up a bit more, I guess.
I mean, as we saw in situations like that where he's getting beaten down by the Bloodseeker, it certainly will have that extra bit of time for Jarex to come in with those sort of plays.
He's still going to get that Blink at a very fast time, and they're going to really need him to make plays all around the map, because we already see PL's getting outfarmed a bit by the Morphin. The Bloodseeker to the Invoker comparison is crazy, and Chalice has a Blink already, so he's going to be the one making tons of moves around the map, and Sebastian has to match it.
This Bloodseeker is certainly going to become a big issue unless Seb can come in with the plays.
And Thompson's, he's full committed on Exort for now. He is 3 points in, not having any in Wex.
Ame has to be careful there. They do have those deep wards down, and he was walking around on 1 HP. So he has to be aware of the Sunstrike potential coming from Thompson. Seb down bottom. He's getting hunted, but he's out with the TP. Back up towards the shrine. Gives him a tip on the way out as well. So it's better luck next time. As PSG LGD are now in position, though, to push down on the bottom lane. Chalice, quicker the mana for the Primal Split. He does now with the bottle charges, so he's ready to go, ready to fight if OG do head down bottom. It's top lane, in fact, where Ana and Jerax are placed, and it looks like OG are unlikely to come down to here, at least before Seb has his Blink Dagger finished.
OG's not able to really set up the push towers too well, and they've got a Chen. They want to be able to take some more building advantage versus LGD's lineup, but it's LGD constantly knocking on their buildings.
And they're also under-leveled on the side of OG, really struggling. And that Invoker just hit level 6, Chen's still level 4, as is the IO.
So much weight going to be in his Axe's shoulders to find play after play around the map. To get the thing is that that's the one thing that they can do, right? If once that Axe gets Blink Dagger, the way to get Thompson back in the game is Sunstrike kills. He has to get the last hits with that Sunstrike.
And it is really quick iron timing from Seb. 9 minutes in, he's going to have the Blink Vanguard done. So he really does have to make something happen with this. If he's unable to do something with this timing, it's going to cost the team a lot. They prioritize giving Seb that safe lane on the bottom, where he's been able to farm up 9 minutes in, Blink and Vanguard. He has to make the plays happen.
And there's also a smoke on the courier, so they can immediately go for that, see what their target is. Brewmaster looks like he's in a pretty good position to break it, just in case. But looks like they're eyeing up maybe in the mid lane.
Top Ana, Jerax heading over, but Chalice, he's in, he's ready with the counterplay, past the Primal Split. Ana and Jerax in a lot of trouble as Jerax gets focused down by the Primal Split. They've got the snowball in onto Ana, back up his inbound. Seb, he's on the side, can he look for the play? Jumps in, gets the call, the Sunstrike down as well as Ana's back in. They get the dunk off, they'll kill off FY, but now Ana and Seb, they've got to somehow get out of it. Ame into the Axe Form, manages to punch down Ana. Seb's in trouble too, he looks for another call off, can he get the spins? That's the question. Jerax comes in, he's giving him the regen and the spin, the dunk. Seb gets the second, he finds the double kill. As Jerax will be fine, and so will Seb. Seb gets sent back by No-Tail, and TP's back in straight away. He wants to keep this fight going. We'll see if he finds another opportunity to get another blink off. Tries to go for X-Nova, but X-Nova just out of range still. The Spirits hitting into him. They'll chase down. Do they have the damage to burst him? The Culling Blade just enough to bring him down, so he gets bursted by the Sunstruck. OG certainly showing signs of being able to utilize this axe to take the fight against PSG LGD.
Some small signs of life. Thompson, thankfully, actually like that. That dunk is great. Sure, he doesn't get the last hit, but it gives it to the Invoker. He needs to get these kills to catch back up in levels in particular. Because the gold wasn't so much that the Invoker got, but it's all about getting levels up on this hero right now.
Yeah, exactly what Seb needed to push his team back in the game. Now, Invoker feels comfortable enough to go for that minus, and another death on the Morphling side too. I'm not exactly sure. He was an Axe. He was as Axe, and then he just got obliterated. I don't know if it like ran out by duration, but
yeah, it did look like he didn't shift back into his into Morphling in time. He just Seb caught him off guard, I guess. As we have 2,500 gold on Samus. He hasn't quite picked anything up just yet. Maybe wanting to decide if he wants to be the one that goes for the Radiance. Because I did see Chalice queued up earlier, but I think they're kind of debating who's going to get it at a better timing versus this Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Secret goes for here. Blade Mail is so-so, but I think the Axe is just causing tons of issues.
Sunstrike, they're going to pull over Chalice. He's going to be fine. FY's in with the snowball, buying time. Now Chalice looks to turn towards Jerax. Jerax is going to have to relocate back out in the second. In fact, they get the call, they get the kill. They get the jump off onto Chalice, they get the jump off onto Nova.
And up top.
Oh, they're playing more maybe. Jerax and the God keeps it safe for now. Sonas is back in, finishes up the kill, but Seb jumps in, has the call. Have they got the damage? Yes, they do. Sebastian Debs up and down the map, getting these kills, making it happen with the Axie 6-0-1, utilizing that 9-minute Blink Dagger and Vanguard to perfection.
He is coming in so clutch. During all this, Thompson is just sitting in the triangle of the dire jungle, farming, while Sebastian just runs around and makes play after play after play. They bring back the relocate with that axe time. It seems like it's a little bit of fun.
With this space, as you say, he's very close to the Midas.
Yep. Level 9, Bloodseeker level 11, quite a recovery.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared for the cores of LGD now. I mean, looks like Bloodseeker going for a Shadow Blade, potentially a Silver Leader, but it's still going to be very tough. They kind of just have to ignore this Axe and hope that the Brewmaster finds him before he can get that jump.
2K lead now for OG. As we say, with that Midas on Thompson, as long as they can keep making the space for him, he's going to be able to farm at a pace that will allow him to catch back up with the cores of PSG LGD.
On OG, they have a lot of ways. With the Axe, they have so many ways. It's actually like a team fighter and also a pick-off hero. While LGD, their team fight is pretty reliant on the Brewmaster having his ulti up. Besides that, they're just a lot about pick-offs. So OG does have a little bit of a window here with his level 13 shields.
The reveal of Insomnius straight in on Anna. Anna's got the doppelganger, gets himself out of the bloodline, goes for the TP away, but the snowball's there from F1. Quick uppercut to finish off Anna at the same time down bottom. They get the call, the Sunstrike. It does not look like it's nearly enough damage though to bring him down as the stick charges come out and so do the TPs. The counterplay will look for Chalice, trying to find Seb. He's going to blink up in a second, and does it get off? The clap was there. Chalice able to cancel the blink, but Jarex comes through. Seb trying to fight back. He's got the cool. Can he get the spins off in time? It's the dog. The stick charges, though. Keep Chalice safe. Allow him to get the split off at the same time in the jungle. FY and Arme, they found Notel. They'll be able to pick off the Chen to the side as Arme in the Axel gets the cool, controlling Notel. Cyclone from Chalice, throwing Seb up. But they won't look to fight into him anymore. Seb will be fine. Just Notel to fall there off the back of that play. But both cores again of LGD keeping themselves alive. Their Chalice with the clutch stick play there as he was very close to getting burst down by the Culling Blade.
Looks like they're trying to set up on top on the top.
Ame going for it early, Morbid Mass, so we can stay sustained in that. And also, later on, you could build onto a very useful item versus that Axe. Because you expect that the Axe is going to have a Blade Mill pretty early in this game. And Morphling very susceptible to a Blink Axe.
That's the bait play. They get the call onto the two of them. Seb jumps in. The Sun strikes down. The stun as well. The micro play. They've got the lockdown onto both of them. Somnus falls as well. Notail with his army of creeps, holding them down, getting the 2 kills.
They just can't fight into Seb right now. He's everywhere. He's at the bounties. He's all around the map with a relocate. And every time they fight him, they lose.
And that Blade Mail's getting dangerously close as well.
Bloodseeker as well as the Morphling pretty much any time that he fights him around the map with his Blade Mill.
And they just don't have enough damage for him. Like, he's not going to be running around with Rupture. Enchantress isn't going to be hitting him when he has a Blade Mail on. Morphling doesn't have enough items, so he's still going to be a threat for some time to come. And Brewmaster ult is very long cooldown relative to how often Seb can initiate.
Fine. It's going to be drawn back very, very far there. Seb blinks away as FY now surrounded as the relocate comes through. And then Jarex in to pick up the kill on FY.
4K gold advantage, a 6,000 experience advantage, and this is just OG running around as 3 or 4 heroes, while Thompson is so happy now.
He's climbing back into the game.
Recovered.
He absolutely has. He's now level with the farm of Arme. Bloodseeker down bottom again. Seb finding the opening to make these plays happen as Somnus found out it in the jungle. Seb 7-0-4 on his Axe.
And he wants to keep going. Ame has shown his face in mid. It starts to strength more. Call off him.
Space is there for them to push down on this tier 1 mid. TP coming in from Chalice. He's got the primal split available. Arme looking to kick the fight off. Waveforms forward. Chalice jumps in with the clap. Holding off for the primal split for now. Now lets it out. Seb tries for the call, but the primal split's already there. X-Nova with a wrap around. The impetus onto Notail. Notail's gone. Cyclone sending Seb out of the fight at the moment. Up into the air. Arme in the F tries to surround, but Seb gets the blink off. Away from Arme. The shards are down. Seb tethered up by Jarex. Seb walking back in. Tries for the call. FY goes for the snowball across towards Jarex. But now the TP. Thompson's in, looks for the combo onto Arme, but Arme is back into the Morphling, starts to attribute shift back into strength. FY, uppercut on Thompson, Jarex tethers across, keeping this as man alive as Anna, running a spell away from Chalice. Chalice trying to find Jarex. Jarex is into the trees. We've got Seb as well, looking for Somnus, but Somnus has the damage. Somnus gets the triple kill. Maybe more as Anna. Turning towards Mono. He's stuck with him as Anna will possibly find out he does. He's going to have Doppelganger back up in a second, but the problem is he there in time? He's not. Doppelganger's back up. He could jump out. Looks towards Chalice. Spirit Lunge finishes Chalice off. Anna gets another. Somnus did find Notail, but Anna's still going. Can Somnus kill it? The Doppelganger's there. Anna trying to phantom rush himself away, but Somnus able to change the diffuser blade onto Somnus. With the challenge, shoves it into the backside of Anna.
Let me the mouse now.
What? LGD from the start of the fight. Pretty interesting stuff to point out too. I saw Chalice jumping, so he hesitated on his own. He actually kept the creep, hit level 12, skilled up behind the split, so when he went in, he actually had the higher level of build, so he got a cyclone in the back lines. With that defusal, got a couple kills, but Samus, the big winner in that fight.
He killed Thompson as soon as he showed. Thompson, yeah, he's farm, but he's still defensive. Run down by this Bloodseeker, and Samus was able to run around the back lines with the shadow.
He's in. Onto Nova with the Sun Strike. It's the burst damage enough. It's more than enough.
Max and sword.
They're now set up to push onto that tier 1 tower mid, OG. Taking the one down bottom.
Hey!
Should be able to find this one. Wants to join to the fight. But they'll let that one go. As OG is playing the tower.
I think they're going to wait until the Bloodseeker has BKB in particular for the next fights, because when he has that, he's going to have so much more freedom to take out the IO, go for the backlines onto the Invoker, and not have to worry so much about that PL. Still really has to watch out for 7 on that Axe.
They're relocating around a little bit, just using it to push out the lanes. Jarex was in the jungle, but they're forcing out the lanes a lot so that Axe does have these opportunities while LGD
Again, sort of the issue when Somnus is enabled in terms of being able to just run rampant around the fights as he did, getting that triple kill. And Anna does a very good job, of course, of picking some kills up in return. But at the end of the day, the Bloodseeker is just too strong at this stage of the game, and if they cannot burst him, get that jump on him to start the fight off. There we go. FY, they're leading pretty deep here with the snowball onto Thompson. Chalice jumps forward as well. They're trying to burst him with Thompson. Here's the tornado, the MP out as well, but Chalice is already there with the primal split. So he can stand his ground and finish off the invoker.
Next couple of minutes, though, will be a good time for them to
fight.
The Cyclone, the Axe. I think that is pretty good for I'm still curious about that defense. Planning on replicating into the Phantom Lancer for a lot of these fights.
That's a good point. Big snowball by FY. FY actually has a blink dagger finished up on himself, so they actually have a pretty good way to counter that Axe call now in the fights for LGD. But right now, without Primal split down, I do think it is OG's time to try to make some moves and capitalize on LGD while they're split up.
Going to try and find that blink call before BKB is called by Songs.
Ano?
Ayun kay Nina. Ayun kay Ga. Very close. 21 to 19, 21 minutes in. Less than a 1 kill advantage for OG. They did get ahead after recovering the lanes, but now PSG LGD catching up.
They're starting on Roche right now. It's easiest Roche. Noto does have the Medallion of Courage, but it has a lot of to secure them over. But if you're trading that for an Aegis, I think that's well worth it for OG. But certainly LGD aren't going to let it go down with that fight.
OG will jump in. They get the call onto X-Nova. The MP down as well as Thompson moves him the combo. X-Nova does get the heal off. He's able to back away. Now starts throwing impetus in onto Seb. The tornado is going to be blocked off by Somnus. With the BKB, another call comes out from Seb. The Sun Strike from Thompson did find the kill on X-Nova. The Seb back on Seb, keeping him safe. Seb back to base. TP's back towards the shrine immediately. As OG, they remember up and Anna on this. He's on top of Somnus. The BKB, of course, now one off, and they'll find Somnus as well. A double kill for Thompson as OG take a successful fight around the pit. They're at a 74% win probability now on Dota Plus. As OG, with those kills, go back towards the Roche, and there's a regen room waiting here for them as well. As this Roche will go their way. Regaining that lead that they created.
I love how Adam and Seb was about just making the fight happen, right? They know the Primal split is down. They saw Morphling down bottom, split pushing too, so they're like, we have to make a fight happen so that they can't actually zone us out of this Roche pit in this time when we've got our window. LGD, they're just very dependent on this Primal split steal here for the fights. As it looks like it's going to be a Radiance, as we were mentioning earlier, for Chalice to deal with that PL illusions.
Man, Thompson's more than online with the Axe. It's been up for a couple minutes. Axe also going for the Shadow Blade so you can get more pick-offs around the map. I mean, BKB is not super great versus the Axe. That's one of my primary concerns for the course of LGD. Especially if you have Flood Rage on you. That's a scary part if you're Somnus.
So, as you say, I'll be interested to see how this works out for the Morphin. With the diffusal blade complete, not something that we see every day, but sort of, as you theory-crafted, Ben, something that maybe he's looking to utilize in the fights when he takes over, sort of control B, becoming the Phantom.
That's the best reason I can think of.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can see. That's very good callback.
Yeah, I mean, it's also good for him to try and eliminate the IO early on. He doesn't have a Glimmer Cape, but it's still going to be pretty tough, especially with that BKB. He's very susceptible to that poker.
He can also like set up some kills at Cologne, right? If he does find anybody straggling around in the side lanes, he can pick them up with that diffusal easily.
Wave one TP keeps Ame safe. He's out of the jungle.
Now the Shadow Blade is going to be complete on 7, and I think the Manta Style is also coming out for Phantom Lancer, so 2 big items, and with his Aegis, this is their kind of shine. It doesn't even matter if Brewmaster has his ultimate. I don't think they're strong enough to take him out right now. So yeah, just take the stall for a little bit, wait for Ravens get your farm up, maybe get a BKB up on the Morphin, and then you'll be in fighting shape.
Yeah, cutting into OG just seems way too difficult, especially with Jerax, who's now level 15, has the tethered X bonus, and also has a full mech. So that's going to counteract a lot of the damage that LGD is already lacking in their fights right now.
So definitely just don't want to fight. They have very good ward setup on the side of LGD. They have 4 spread out throughout the map, and unless OG are a couple of smokes, I don't see them getting any huge pickoffs right here or huge objectives after a fight.
OG's got good momentum pushing in on every single lane. We even have the Axe Illusions cutting some waves too. So all 3 lanes pushing in onto LGD's side right now. As OG, they're spamming those chat whales. They're getting into it now.
Feeling good. Feeling it. Absolutely. Another tower taken by OG.
Oh, Seb is on the prowl immediately too.
Wow. How did? Oh, they have a road scribble over there. I was wondering how he saw that coming.
So yeah, takes the Morph duration out as well on that Morphing, as we've been seeing a lot of players. Well, the few players that do play Morphing still have been doing. So full Manta, Diffusal, and that Aegis on Ana. He is feeling very confident. He commits forward onto X-Nova.
Oh, with the Sunstrike down, it doesn't matter. They are going to be able to duke it out here with the Snowball. Ana still trying to fight forward. He's feeling confident with the Aegis. Tornado will clip onto X-Nova, but he's got the heal out and he'll be fine. Ana has been ruptured now, needs the backup. Jerax in with the tether. And with the doppelganger dodging the blood bright. So OG will be more than fine.
There's so much burst steel coming out.
Yeah.
With the tether and the hand of God and then the mech.
I'm looking for another tier 2 tower. OG really starting to overtake the map. That's what I'm thinking. Seb, he's in. The call. There's no attribute shift in time. Ame can't react with that Shadow Blade blink initiation.
Power of that Blade Mail versus the Morphin, but also he was hit by that huge Sunstrike that's so early on.
He has no buyback here, so OG.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if they can get anything more out of this one as they're into the base, chasing down X-Nova. X-Nova being focused by Ana. The Illusion Army chasing him down, trapping him here in the trees as he'll fall. OG, they've found 2. They're up onto the high ground looking at this tier 3 tower.
And look at this, they even used the Ag's tether on the Chen, so there's a Chen Ancient there adding more help for them.
Oh, look at this push they've got going. As the Rax now to a Chalice, jumps in, does get the primal split out, finds Jerax. Jerax is gone, FY goes in with the uppercut. Ana trying to clean out some of these primal split illusions as Jerax will buy back. He's coming in with a relocate. Seb being focused, but they're killing the primal split. It's only just down to the earth for the Wind Panda. The Wind Panda getting himself away from the fight as he will still survive, but they've got the vision. Can he escape in time? Chalice! Oh! Nearly dies during the primal split, but Chalice will survive. OG, what's the plan now? Do they want to just get out of here? Seb trying to get in position with his Shadow Blade. He's found Ame. Ame's in the peel at the moment as Ame just gets taken down. Dead for 50 seconds. Thompson being chased by Somnus. They've got the dust down Thompson as well. X-Nova picked up inside of the snowball. Thompson will fall. They'll find Ana too as LGD will hold despite Ame going down once again. Can they get Seb as well? Jerax is there at the side, but he does not have relocate available. There's no save for Seb.
Did he just hold that snowball until the Aegis finished?
Yeah.
What?
He waited that whole time for it to get. That was
unbelievable.
Oh my God.
And effectively at the end of the day, a full team wipe there by PSG LGD. X-Nova, he'll survive as well. They hold that middle lane. They may have lost to tier 3, but they keep those racks alive. Push OG back.
Coming in from Chalice and FY there. FY with the clutch snowball play there on that Aegis, of course. And Chalice, look at the damage he did in that fight. 6,600 because of that radiance. Like you said, they were killing the primal split.
They were so close to killing it.
There was still one alive, so each time you kill one, the radiance just keeps passing along to the next one over and over again, so he just keeps dealing all that damage in the fight.
I can't believe he survived.
I can't, yeah, I mean, he was just so close to dying. What a turnaround by LGD, as it was a 7,500 gold lead for OG there, chunked down all the way to 2K, and the experience is now favoring LGD.
And they had a different way of dealing with the axe this time, which was rupture and just kind of leave him alone. He didn't really want to run around. He's not that tanky, especially when the Wiz is tethering up someone else. But this defusal choice,
he got wrecked. Yeah, he did. I'm in strong.
I mean, you can understand, as you say, he wants to try and fight as the PL, but that, of course, leaves him very vulnerable to getting caught out by Seb's full initiation.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if PL were like the trump card in this game, with no axe and with very little AoE on the side of OG, it would have been a great choice. This time, I mean, there's not that many great items for it. I'm not really a big fan of BKB on him at this point of the game, but he does need to be able to not die with 1,000 HP.
I think he just stay morphed up very, very high strength, and then jump into the fights, turn to the PL, and then that's when he can just thrive off of it, because if he's staying low, like we said, he just dies over and over again to the call blade mill, or even just Sunstrike that come out.
Smoke action, here's LGD, wrap around. On the river.
They've got level 18 on the brew, so level 3 primal split at the ready. Chalice on the high ground.
OG got that ward down in time, and that's going to set up for Seb to find the jump. And fight comes in with the snowball save. Keeps his team alive for now. They're rolling on Seb. Seb gets the playback, turns towards Chalice. Chalice, he gets the spin off. Seb, he's gone down. Jarek's now focused as well by PSG LGD. They'll get the two of them. Seb's brought back. The chase for a softness onto the hotel, into the trees. Sets up for a double kill on the Bloodseeker. And Seb, he's been set up into the skies by Chalice's Cyclone. Seb gets the blink off. He's got the Shadow Blade too, but they've already lost 3 on OG. The dust is out. It will clip Seb. They've got the stone control from the Mud Golem, stopping Chalice getting the blink through. As Seb will just escape there. FY with that save.
That's the snowball play, and Chalice even got cold snapped, but just having that extra miss rate, he actually doesn't get that other one proccing on him, so he's able to get the primal split off. Unbelievable.
Every single team fight, FY and Chalice are just doing so much in terms of control.
Yeah, Thompson tried his best to stop that split from going off.
Yeah.
He realized exactly what was that was crazy. Unreal. So that's 2 times Brewmaster just narrowly escaped death. They were sitting right on top of his reward. There was a double call coming out from Seb to start the fight. They thought that they had that one in the bag.
Yeah, it looks like the perfect initiation, right? But FY is just like, nope. That's why we have the Tusk. Those snowball saves, as we mentioned.
And now he has a Yules too. And this Yules versus the Axe. So this
again.
Look at this beauty.
It looked perfect, but FY in with that save, taking them out of the combo. Thompson, it just set up for the follow-up. And again, as always, Chalice getting that split off just in time. And at that point, it was pretty much impossible for OG to take the fight back around in their favor. You see Seb buy back straight away, but he's already losing the rest of his team.
It looks like he didn't even have vision on Maybe there. He was shadow bladed up and was still able to get the call out on him. Just needed a tiny bit more burst.
And immediately, because of that play as well, you see PSG LGD dewarding that area of the map.
Dewarding their whole side of the map even. They're just like, we do not want this Axe with Shadow Blade to get anyone off. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 sentries placed around? X-Nova Xova's like, I have treads, I'm happy, I will buy sentries and defenders.
That guy does not mess around. He still does a fair amount of damage too. He does. His treads.
I mean, if he can also just even enchant a PL illusion, he can start his own army going in a lot of these fights too. We haven't seen happen too much, but
they're trying really hard to kill these ancient creeps, but
he gets out in time. The dragon. Bottom. They want to fight this. They're fan FY. Seb looking to close the gap. The sun strikes down, but it's off the point. They'll still get the call off though. Dragging FY back into the clutches of them as they find the Tusk.
It's still going to be tough for Seb though. I think the Tusk was looking for enough gold. The Shadow Blade, he's already very, very far exposed. It's pretty much a mandatory BKB when he started the fight.
Yeah, I mean they need that BKB on the Axe now so that he doesn't get dissembled before he gets those jumps off.
But even if he has a BKB, they can still get snowballed. It's really hard for Seb right now, especially when F1 has been continues to play the way he has been.
I think they have to find a way to get the backline. They have to find this Tusk in these fights while they do the initiation at the same time as the Axe. I think it's up to Thompson to really find that opportunity. It's very tough for him though him and the PL have to try to cause some distraction so Seb can get that call off successfully.
Looks like Tusk is actually, he's swapped up his build. He wants to go for an Aeondis as opposed to the Shadow Blade that he just had a break by. Maybe just thinking along the same track.
Yeah, this is going to be able to dispel it, and he's going to be able to still go for that opportunity too. Once that Aeondis procs, he can even get the blink off afterwards if they can't deal damage to him in time. Once it, since he can't take damage to an Aeondis.
As this game does go on, I mean, we're already at the 33-minute mark at the moment. Does one sort of lineup come out ahead in the late game in sort of your eyes?
It's kind of hard to say because of how much work the Chalice is putting. I'd say probably LGD just because this Brewmaster's had such a impeccable performance.
See, can they get the jump? And that's going to show himself. Somnus pops the Shadow Blade, turns with the Rupture. Chalice goes in with the jump, pops the BKB. Starts to punch into Anna, the blood rides down. Anna getting silenced to be able to Manta start it off, starts to back away. The Zone Strike on X-Nova, but it's off the point. X-Nova will survive. Anna getting focused. Thompson trying to go in for the side with the combo, but the snowball again from FY buying time for Somnus. He looks towards Seb. He just beats into the blade belt. Seb's able to turn and get the kill. There'll be the buyback for the Bloodseeker. Anna trying to hold still, but Chalice, he's got his number. He knows exactly which one he is. Anna looking to doppelganger. Does manage to get up to the high ground, but Somnus with the buyback. He's there, ready to claim the kill.
Those two are dead without buyback. They're down for 80 seconds. There's a Roche available too here for LGD.
Thompson's immediate.
Bottom lane's also pushing in. Look at this army.
He's got that extra Forge Spirit summoned. And indeed, with the Ancient Black Dragon, the Mud Golem, no robot, they're in. They're pushing in.
Yeah. They have to bring Chalice down here. He's the only one with the TP on his core hero. So they've
got the dust. Thompson, can he play his way out of this FY with the control? Meaning that Jerax cannot save him in time, as Jerax will TP out. No tail as well.
And
will get away.
Look at Roche.
PSG, LGD.
Oh.
They'll take the chance.
There we go. Yeah, Morphlin's finally at that area of HP where he's comfortable. He can do a lot of damage and still be relatively tanky and not die on a call. Seb has not been able to get these clean calls. He still does not have his BKB set. So many items, but that is the one key one he's been missing.
Just so much disruption being caused in the fights from this Brewmaster. Just every single time, just getting into the front lines, messing with everything LG wants to do.
And Shiva's guard closing in. Jump. FY. He's found himself no tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's no tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, there's 3 still dead on OG. There'll be a slow and painful death here for no tail as Arme comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped this BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off. And he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. And I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage. It's been one of the most dangerous in the game, and as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, Jerax did his best to keep Ana alive, but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Oh, Ana's got an invis here. Watch Jerax.
Shows up top. Indeed, Jerax. He's going out on his own. He doesn't expect Arme to have this invis route. As Arme show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing around.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson, no. We'll fight X-Nova.
Seb. As well. Between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY. So he's playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's just toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed, FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Anna is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Anna, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Anna's got a TP available. He's into the trees. He's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Anna, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seth for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, you know, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left. We'll say to capitalize on this Aegis. I mean, looks like he is loving the PL.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD, 2-1 up at the moment in this best-of-5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Freaks. Right now, he just had the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim, so. As Thompson, let's see, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink calls out, as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, full I've Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for an Aegis to expire. Oh,
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character is going to get F-Fly. He's there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel them. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson is running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing. And has to send on Creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time. Then he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. He sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood run silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. I mean, X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
He has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wards that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And X has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back it. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of rack. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. And another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Sanders. Seb taken down by Ole. The triple buybacks now. Ana in trouble. He's brought back for this one. The deafening blast onto the 3 of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb gets in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Sanders. Now being chased by Thompson. Picks in with the call snap. The PL army is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
He's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already gone, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close the Brew is at 25.
So close.
With that Primal Split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-heals, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give the head up in this team fight. I mean, LGD are controlled, but no blood take over 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
Got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that Primal Split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. They give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They fought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with the experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
So it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI. In this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount there, so protected and DD did spawn, however, it was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail Call if he finds him. Especially with this BKB now, there's not that many ways to stop him.
So it's all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks that they want.
It's going to be dispelled.
Does get dispelled. With the Sienna.
He's in the trees, they're on the high ground, they've got the vision with the Shiva's cover, Dan is on his way over, they've got the snowball down, there's the counterplay, Seb jumps in, he's able to find the call onto Chalice, but Chalice already got the BKB out, the Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb puts the BKB, he'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down, no buyback on the Axe. And now Jarex as well, surrounded by PSG LGD, the Eon Disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom row, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jarex. As Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting, is it enough to hold OG in the game?
You see No-Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care, he's gonna throw his life for this one. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will. As they get upon him, they find his life. 1 minute now without No-Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Ana, and Jarex. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jarex is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Ana up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. They're still able to shift back into their Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to deward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Ana, he's on top of X-Nova. The guy's head's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the EMP, the cannonball, and FY's in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis, Somnus looking to get involved. Plus the BKB to get over the ice wall. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The Axe down once again for 90 seconds. There's now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. The doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of No-Tail, FY will fall, Arme looking towards No-Tail, No-Tail puts the hand of God, but No-Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Ana. He's been left behind in Thompson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle? Jarex coming in, keeping Ana alive, Ana with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them, Ana trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down, Ana again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in the combo. Meatball down onto Challenge, but Challenge is so tanky. Both the Shiva's gone. He's on top of Jerax. Jerax is gone. Anna as well. Can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low? As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up. That buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova. The cold snap down onto the Enchanter. They find him. Alman, he's out of mana. He's starting to shift into the streak, but he's surrounded. OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game. Arme buys back immediately. But now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without two of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also toying with him with that doppel. He set the illusion. They thought that was the real one. He actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill.
Seb, he's looking straight for the plate. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting Somnus. He's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be rotated. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Anna go for the doppelganger. This is a Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the head. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice gone for 2 minutes. And Seb. He's finding, looking for Arme, Big Daddy No-Tail, gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though, Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost hook, he's got Hex up soon too.
The doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this? Sam tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG LGD have, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25 is now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected him to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. Yeah, that's some pressure. There's no way they get this. There's no way LGD can convince.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG are 2X now.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE is really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG LGD do it? They've got the Basher now. For Somnus, but just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now for Thompson, and these 5-second BKBs, I mean, they were crushing when they're BKBs.
Thompson's being spotted out, got the vision, they're on top of it. Thompson is in trouble, another fight comes up. Off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns up, the blood race there, Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG LGD will certainly look to force it out of it.
That's why, just what a shadow play. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer, so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing huge issues in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many, and they're causing havoc in these team fights.
It's too constant. Like that doppel cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup. Just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep. He doesn't have the crit talent, but now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
Yeah, Brewmaster without BKB, Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the territories. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda too as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well. So they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. Thompson back in the game.
But then they're utilizing the PL very well too, by replicating him and sitting over the kids and actually being able to balance. 1 lax left, that's ultimately LGD away from Mega Creeps.
They're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play, OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? Close tapping vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He seems a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counter play. Jax is there though with the heel, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the abyssal blade down. Catalyst here with the hand of God comes through. Thompson still alive, but Chalice gets the primal spin out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese, he's fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No tail. Being chased by Arme. The bash is coming through, but the blade mail was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash of the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY, gets the kill onto FY, FY bites back straight away. Anna looking more somnus again with the doppelganger. Arme on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jax. Jax with the tether. Arme turns his tether down. There's the call. Sam, he catches Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. The Hags, they've got somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. As OG stand with 5 alive on the map. 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This doppel talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the dispel, but it's so hard to find the real PL amongst all these illusions and all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Ana frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Bright will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Ana, he's poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the beacon, the call! Sam, he's got the disable on the Chalice, do they have the damage? They're going to the Chalice! He's into the snowball, FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable! He's the text, he gets Bloodthorn! Chalice plays back. Straight back into the game, Ana trying to find his attention onto X-Nova. Chalice leading forward, the Tornado going to be off the market, only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow-up, jumps in, gets the call, the BKB was out in time, the Bananas on top of it, today, now Seb's got the blade on FY, with the snowball again, Thompson, Jax, focusing the rags, Thompson gets the Hex off onto X-Nova, Seb, healed up by Jax, Ana still full health at the moment, as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base, OG, get the bottom melee racks. As still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid rack's falling. They've taken a full second, says 15 painful seconds for LGD.
They're going to keep going. They want to claim their megas.
Another tier 3 falls. OG onto the final set of racks that LGD have left standing. As Ana, he gets kicked back. He's separated from the team, but he has to double capture. He's been ruptured. He needs help, and he needs it now. Jared, in with the tap of the hand of God. Give me that double heal. The relocated squad, Jared gets him out. As OG will successfully disengage before that Morphling's back in, as they found both racks. Jared will die for this one, almost certainly, as he looks to tether across, but another hides upon him. He has buyback though, and OG just took so much away from PSG LGD, as they only have a lone range rack standing on the top lane.
I can't believe it's coming. This is only 3 racks left in this game. One of those are range racks on the side of LGD. Buyback status. I saw X-No was buyback. It was only like 600 or 700. Yeah, which is crazy. But JRX also kind of in that same network territory, looking at a very cheap buyback. But 2 in the game left. Io.
Alam mo basta-bastang game. Bala ka. Ganyan-ganyan ng characters natin ating nagbagbasa yan.
With a whisk, just
Team here today.
We'll see this
Yan
again.
sayang. Gana-gana.
It seems like the control is just not there, and they don't have the way to control all these illusions constantly. And of course, look at Jarex coming in, starts that relocation and is able to get it off.
Discussion natin sabi about lalo po tayo mag-react na lang student.
At the time that it means the most, but he's still able to crack a smile here in Game 4 of the TI8 Grand Finals. OG making a stand, now leading 9K advantage in net worth.
Nakapot natin buying hero. Di ba niya minsan sinabi kaya natin buying hero? Eh, may pinlay pa ng history na buying hero. Pati niya pa history. Chinese shit ang hero ito, Chinese.
I think they can decide to buy something or get a blank call, and that hero is likely dead without buyback at this point. So OG, I would say, definitely favored at this point in the game, especially with PL having buyback. LGD, they have a couple minutes to think about what they want to do before this next Roshan.
Yeah, they can't be totally reliant on FY just getting these perfect snowball saves, or even like I saw in the last fight too, when it was down bottom, he even tried the walrus kicking the IO away from when he was tethered from somebody else. They need to find some other ways to be able to save, in particular that Brewmaster, who just time and time again is the most important hero at this scene for LGD.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they do with the BKB call. The snowball is the only thing, but they have Bloodthorns, they have Scythe Device for the Tusk, they have a lot of things available. Maybe Aeon Disc perhaps for the Brewmaster. I'm not exactly sure what the best way to deal with it is. Looks like he is going for an Octarine perhaps for almost permanent.
The sentry's down on Lacey Thompson, but Thompson, he's already quick with the play. The Tornado into EMP, Cold Snap as well, they've got the Hex, but there won't be any further jumping.
Just they're going for top. They're trying to make space.
They got the Mega Creeps.
That's the distraction play right there.
Up against the Mega Creeps. PSG LGD, it's what stands between them and the championship title here in Game 4.
And they got it right before that wave, before that 59-minute mark too, so we already have the Mega Creep wave coming in, that momentum pushing onto LGD's side.
And you look at their lineup, can PSG LGD's heroes deal with the Mega Creeps? It's hard. They don't really have that sort of incredible D-push or AoE sort of hard hitters to deal with it.
That's kind of what they've been lacking in a lot of this game, right? That's what we've been talking about with the illusions with the PL. They've got ways to find them if it's, or ways to kill them if they find the exact one, but as for doing that, it's very tough when they don't have just the Dispel from Chalice.
And he does too much damage to ignore at this point with the Bloodthorn. And on top of that, Roshan is going to respawn in about 1 minute's time. LGD, I think their buybacks are going to cool down around that time, but I just don't think they can withstand this onslaught. They really want to be able to defend this Roshan. It's super obvious when there's Mega Creeps. But Mega Creeps, that's the luxury that you have. You can just wait a couple of seconds. You know, the creeps will be hitting at your T4s if you wait.
As Ana commits forward, has no boots, but a full Eye of Scotty. 3,800 health now on this PL. Hasn't been dying for a very long time. Now he's got easier ways, easier kill opportunity, and much more survivability.
And he probably has like maybe 7,000, 8,000 HP effective. The heal, the overcharge, and the Hand of God is just way too much. And the lifesteal from Hashem too. There's another ability.
OG clearing out the pit. Very, very soon to be spawning Roshan, and PSG LGD are well aware.
Roshan's up. It looks like only OG knows right now.
Ame, PL battle. He's some illusion action. Ame's gonna get caught out by the tornado though. They've opened up onto him. Ame trying to get on top of Ana. The BKB popped by Chalice. He'll get the ult out. No-Tail getting gone out straight away by F1 with the circle. No-Tail's dead for 100. They'll get the Chen. Ana in the midst of it, trying to lock down onto FY. The rest of his team about to come over, they get the tornado. Out onto X over Seb, looking for the cool control onto Ame. Has he got it? Ame getting stood up by the cold snap, but he's able to wait for him up the high ground. Thompson blinks in, he gets the Hex out, but F5 with the snowball save. They get the bash out, Sonus will be able to find the IO, but they're fully low OGD. That's Sonus dead for 2 minutes. They get Thompson dead for 2 minutes, only Ana. Can you do it here? Is it off? Seb gets the call. He gets the call of his lifetime. As 3 dead now on LGD, no buyback, simple fall. Ana kept alive off the back of that fight. As that very much looked like PSG LGD were able to tip OG over the edge, but that plus 100 Berserker score, you could see Seb as well being very careful with how he used it, keeping it to that opportune moment after any potential sort of Manta dodges have been done by Thomas Ame, and he gets the call.
9 doppelgangers used on just in that area around the Ancients from the PL. Just the constant barrage of illusions giving that distraction to allow Seb to get that call off.
That's another Roshan for OG.
these fights have to be so hectic for the players. There's like 30 PL.
There's just both sides. I mean, even the Enchantress is like taking a PL, and then the Morphling turns into PL.
I'm just impressed we haven't had any frame drops.
Wow, live yun. Hindi na live ako marakamanap yan kasi pang-basa game yan. Karakal makalive ka lupok, hindi na lang kami yata. Sobrang natami ang minuna nung abalo yung makagandi karakal ko sana malibay.
He wants to end this game. The buyback will come out from FY. Anna. It's going to be snowballed. Anna. He's in. He's not got any backup on the way. FY will be able to get over the invis, but this doppelganger. Just over and over again, meaning that Anna could just stand in. Now he's got the back of a Jarex. His eye ready. The Hex is Hex. Oh, he didn't expect it. He didn't expect the Hex, but he's still fine. Jarex at the Otis, but X-Nova into the snowball. They'll turn towards Jarex. The Hanagon coming out. Jarex has been nullified. They get doppelganger once again. X-Nova. He will survive for now. But buybacks were forced out by that aggressive play from Anna. At the same time, Seb did buyback himself on the axe. But LGD are back up as a full 5 man.
This is insane. I mean, Otto was super safe there. I'm not exactly sure why I said buyback, but I mean, he has heart, he has whiz behind him, he has Aegis, he has everything. He has buyback.
And as you can see there, that is the big difference. There are 4 buybacks available on OG. Only 1 available for LGD.
4v5 posibleng manyambut kayo kan 4v5.
All this momentum pushing in. And an Arcane Moon up top. If they give that to Ana, oh my god. Even more illusions, even more doppels.
Oh.
Let's go.
That is
a 2.1 second cooldown.
2.1 second cooldown.
Oh man.
Okay. Azana.
This is it.
He's ready to put it to use. Straight into the base he goes, doppling forward, he gets the jump onto X-Nova, the Ghost Scepter keeping X-Nova fine for now. Anna looking to turn his commitment towards Arme, Thompson comes in with a Deafening Blast from the side, the EMP finishes X-Nova, he's dead for 110, Seb, post the BKB, looks for the kill control to FY, but FY does get the snowball off in time. Arme looking at top of Jarex, but Thompson turns, they get the Hex out, onto him, he'll get himself back into the ball, the BKB's out, and tries Arme, cuts that neutral with a way 4-5's the kill. Anna looking to get on top of Arme, the BKB's about to wear off, the Mega Key speeding down upon the edge of LG's side.
Ay, kasaya na to, uwi na ako. Uwi na nga ako.
Arme dead for 2 minutes. Chalice, BKB pop, and he's trying to commit, trying to deal with Anna being silenced by the Blood Right, but the Ancient is falling. The Hex is out. They're going to be able to find themselves. Chalice 3 dead on LGD. OG hitting the Ancient, hitting the Ancient. We're going to a game 5. We are going to a game 5 here at the TIA Grand Finals, nonetheless. OG taking game 4 at 65 minutes in.
The clutch plays from Ana and Seb over and over again. Jarex as well, saves all over the place.
You can see the disappointment on LGD's faces too. They were like, we had
safe felt like
this was it.
I mean, if you told me a month ago I'd be casting the Grand Finals at TI, I wouldn't have believed it. If you told me I would be casting OG in the Grand Finals, I wouldn't believe it. If you told me Ben Wu was coming back to join me, I wouldn't have believed it. And if you told me we are going to a game 5, I would have walked away. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, 2-2 between OG and PSG LGD here in the Grand Finals of TI8.
Wow, what was that? We are witnessing history as we go to a game 5. Hasn't happened in years, 5 years to be exact. And now in the grand final, we have 1 game away from crowning a new champion. I mean, we were standing out here just trying to take it all in, and we could not tell which way it was going to go, Black.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lost my voice while I was there screaming, so...
I understand.
It was just insane, that game. Like, we thought it was over like a minute 30, and then suddenly it became like a minute 70 game, where OG suddenly turned the table, so I have no idea what even happened.
Yeah, we came over here, the Chinese crowd, started going crazy, basically. That's how we're here for. The LGD fans, we're like, all right, I want to go listen to them as they win this thing. But OG, all right. Now, there's one thing I know about Seb.
is that he responds extremely well to people doubting him. And I said that is one thing that team was lacking, is they didn't have an offlane player who you could put the game on and depend on and win you some Dota 2. And clearly Seb heard me, because then he got really mad, turned bright red, and absolutely destroyed that game.
Yeah, I mean, Sin, OG showed us the OG that we talked about throughout the TI, right? I mean, throughout all of TI. They showed us some of their own picks, and also this, just in the face of adversity, coming back stronger than ever.
I'm just glad I'm still alive. That's all I can say after that game. My heart was actually really pounding during those last, I don't know, 20 minutes. So fortunately, we're still here. So that's good. No, I mean, that was actually a crazy game. That's probably the game of the tournament for me so far. Unbelievable how OG somehow seems to end up in every game of the tournament. And then they make the next one, and the next one, and the next one. They just have this unbelievable ability to come back from ridiculous situations. In this game, it looked so hard. And they play around these small little advantages that they get in the fight so well and just play the waiting game. They play these like 40-second team fights where they get 3 calls off, they get 2 or 3 tornadoes off, and they had the best talent in all of Dota 2 in this game. Let's not forget PL's 25 doppelganger talent truly made this game for them. So getting to that stage, I was looking at PL leveling out, and I was like, oh, when he hits 25, this could get scary. And damn, it did. They could not kill him.
Yeah, that's been a consistent thing for OG as well, right? Like, we've talked about some teams losing the game in the laning stage. Maybe they just can't get enough out of it, but one thing about OG is that their draft will always have that late game powerhouse. Feels like every single time Anna will have at least some sort of an option to carry them through, and that PL was completely unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, this time, right, we always talk about certain players, and this time I think Anna definitely coming in strong for OG as just making plays around the map. And then we mentioned Seb as well, of course, pulling out the axe and making plays, turning that mid game around for OG.
I mean, playing axe in this kind of game is very, very hard, where like pretty much the only disabler or initiator you have. So if you mess up with your call, pretty much the entire team is just like left without any options. And we have seen it a couple of times where they juked him and they completely lost the team fights. But when it really mattered, he came out strong, and I'm really impressed by his performance.
Yeah, and let's not forget the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, we talked about the possibilities of that last pick, right? We're looking for that big Sunstrike play, but Thompson, this guy, he has, I think, virtually never played Exort Invoker. I mean, there wasn't even a recorded game that we could find where he had done it before, right? So this guy switched it up, went the Exort Invoker, and got the Sunstrike kills they needed to actually snowball that laning phase for Seb.
And I want to give props to whoever in that booth suggested the axe. Like, let's not forget that this hero hasn't been played the whole main event, I think. We haven't seen it a single time. Maybe it got picked once or twice in the groups as one of the least picked heroes of the whole tournament. And they find this game where they're like, okay, this is what we need. And we were looking for that creativity today. We've had multiple great creative picks from both teams. And now for the one final game, you've got to come up with that tournament-winning pick. And OG have shown they can do it. LGD have shown they can do it. I have no idea what's coming our way. But this is amazing.
I mean, I think going into Game 5, it's really hard to tell. No one can really sit there and be like, I confidently know which team is going to play better, because both of them have shown us what they've got, right? PSG LGD showing us their form, right? Their cleanliness, them being stronger in the lanes, and then OG, the creativity and just making the special plays that they needed now and then. And then now we're one game away, Black, from finding a new champion.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest doubt I've had with the OG lineup is going head-to-head with LGD and after an even draft. This game they had a really even draft, and they managed to come out on top. I don't know, how did they do it? Like, when we watched game 2 and 3, they got completely blown out.
I think the biggest difference between LGD and OG for me, I think OG are better at using buybacks. When I look across these games, it seems to be like the key thing that OG does better than every other team here is that they use these buybacks, and they have a very good understanding of how to outnumber their opponents, keeping track of what buybacks the enemy team has, and just use these to... They're not afraid of taking a fight where they use 3 buybacks to wipe the enemy team, because they've done their research. They know when it's worth it, how to do it, especially if they end up getting towers or Roshan. They come back in the game that way.
Yeah, it's no coincidence there have been like 4 games so far in the upper back and then end in that exact same fashion, right? They understand how to abuse that mechanic of the buyback. It feels like they're doing it every single time. They grab these teams that look so crisp and always have this perfect execution, and they pull them down into the dirt of these like disgusting team fights. You have no idea what's happening. And there's like 50 of them. You can't kill them all. They had no solution. And when you roll around the dirt like that, eventually they come out on top in terms of the buybacks, and they somehow take the game.
Yeah, forcing them to play OG's game, right? Forcing their opponents to play OG's game. And let's talk about the buybacks a little bit. I mean, sometimes it feels like OG perhaps waits a little too long because they're trying to be too calculated around it. But when it matters, like you said, Sim, they're utilizing it perfectly to make sure they get a further advantage after the fight.
I think this game they knew that they had better late game, so if this already got 6 of it, they too easy, and that's LGD plays it perfectly. But there was this one situation where Latzika did not have buyback, and he was down for 50 seconds, and they actually they did not try to press for a base push. So I was a bit surprised that they chose to play so safe. But I guess in the end it worked out for them because they do have the superior lineup.
Well, going into one last game, I mean, there's no speculation, right? One game now to determine who's going to win, who's going to be the champion, who's going to lift the Aegis of Champions. And PSG LGD, let's not forget, I mean, that last game was all about OG turning it around, but PSG LGD looked spectacular in games 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, the way they turned that game around, too, because like, at first it was going OG's way, right? And we were like, oh, okay, yeah, OG, they might actually win this game. Seb's going to control until these Sunstrikes, and then that one snowball save. Like, one of these big plays where looking for individuals to actually step up, right? FY makes that giant play up inside the Dire Jungle near the Bounty Rune, turns around that fight, and suddenly the whole momentum is swinging the way of LGD, and that's when everyone was just like, okay, I guess this is it. I guess OG are finally done for. They ran out of magic, and somehow they just found in that late game.
All right, well, we're going to have a chance to catch our breath a little bit, obviously, just swimming in emotions here in the Rogers Arena. We're going to tune in with Casey, who's out in the stadium.
You guys asked for a Game 5. You got it! All right, let me hear from everybody who thinks LGD is going to take it. Sorry, did I stutter? What about OG? I want to keep the hype going, okay? So I want everybody to just make as much noise as you possibly can. Let's try the wave one more time, starting with this section and going that way. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go, 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 go! I can't hear you! There you go. Keep going! Don't drown! It's coming back! Here we go! Here we go! Take it! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Don't let it die! All right, guys, high fives. Come on, here we go. Why is it quiet? That is not appropriate grand finale behavior. Here it comes. Come on. Give some noise. Here we go. I didn't practice this in my trip. All right, are you hyped? Are you ready, Chobra?
Absolutely, Casey. I think the Rogers Arena is definitely ready for the next game. Thank you so much for tuning in with the fans. I mean, the energy in here, it was like we were in a gym and just doing kind of cheer practices back and forth between OG fans and LGD fans, right? Kind of split halfway down the line as well in the stadium, and both sides going crazy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here in the arena, don't forget that after this next game, just one game left, once we have a new champion and they lift that Aegis, we will have that special edition of the late game show live from the Queen Elizabeth Theater. It's not far, so if you're not from the area, just ask a friend or check your maps. You'll be able to walk there, and that will be with the winners of the grand finals, which will be a special treat, and some other guests as well. A live band, over 2,500 seats, first come, first serve. So let's celebrate here as we crown a new champion, and then we'll walk over together to the late game show and celebrate further on a brand new international champion. So that should be an awesome treat for us to really wrap up TI8. I mean, this TI has been an international stories for sure, and I think this finals is the epitome of it.
We got one again, guys. Game 5.
Yeah.
It's not just that we got a Game 5. I feel like these games just across all 4 of the games that we had so far were not like super one-sided or boring or anything. Like it was. That's what this OG team does. Even when they're behind, you always have that feeling like it's never over. It's never over. That's their mentality too. So when we're like, oh, it's over, we're like correct 33% of the time maybe, and the other times it's not over, and actually a lot of them OG do come back in. So for me, this is like outstanding. If you think back to TI3, a lot of the games in that grand final best of 5 were actually pretty one-sided. The first games of the series were very quick, going both ways, and then the 5th game was obviously incredible. So just hope we get that again here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we'd wind up with another scenario there in terms of like the team who has the Earthshaker is going to win, much like back then the team who has the Eye.
Well, we
just
did
going to win. Yeah, and it started like that,
and then it was banned.
And I thought, uh-oh. But now we've somehow found a place where you can get the same hero on both sides, as both teams had a PL last game, so that was pretty entertaining. Just itemized identically, you know, just play up against each other.